Okay, good morning, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Just a couple of questions from me, and I'll get them in early before Kyle comes on and makes you cry. Um, any updates on Matt Murray at this point in the day?
No, there isn't. We're waiting on the trainers to let me know at this point. But if he can't go, we'll go on without him.
And would the plan be then just to go right back with Joey?
Yeah, or we've recalled Gus as well. So Gustafson's an option. We'll have to decide that later today.
Okay, final question from me. Any changes to your lineup?
No.
Thank you.
We'll go to Bruce Garriock at Post Media.
DJ, do you give Joey Daccord a lot of credit for being able to go into that situation he went into last night and secure a win?
Yeah, for sure. What I really liked about his game is how hard he battled. Whether he made the save or not, or you know what, he gave you everything he had there. He was fighting for loose pucks, and he was, and the players certainly seen that, and they played hard in front of him. You've seen him blocking shots for him and doing a lot of things, and I think they fed off his energy.
You look at him going in there. Is maybe that good sometimes that you don't have time to think about it, DJ, and just step in and get the job done?
Yeah, probably for a young guy, especially. You know what I mean? If you're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs with all their high, their power on offense, you can overthink it maybe, and it's probably better off in that situation that he just, get in there and go, and he got the job done for us.
I just had a couple other things, DJ. I wanted to ask you about Colin White. I mean, was he back a little quicker than even you expected?
Absolutely. No one thought he was going to play, and credit to him. You know what? He wants to be a part of it with the boys. He's a big part of our team and obviously our locker room as well. But he didn't want to be held out, and he wanted in. It would have been easy for him to sit that one and go today, but he wanted to be a part of it. And the boys are certainly happy that he pushed through, and they're cheering for him.
The last thing, you played Vancouver early in the year. I think you're a different team than you were at that time. And what would you anticipate from them tonight?
Well, they can score goals. You know what? They have 6 solid defensemen. Their goaltending's been outstanding of late. Demko hasn't given up almost anything, and gives them a chance to win every night. So I think every team in our division outside of maybe Toronto and Edmonton has the high end talent. I guess Winnipeg as well. But these teams, they all work hard, and whoever gets, that night, whoever's playing the best or gets the best goaltending has a chance to win. And that's why this Canadian division's been so competitive.
Mark Broussard, Le Gloire.
Coach, do you know where Marcus Hogberg is at? Is there any chance that he could get some condition games in Belleville?
That'll be up to Pierre to decide what we're going to do there. He's starting to do a lot better. We're expecting maybe here in the next little bit that he'll be ready to go for us.
Ian Mendez, The Athletic.
Morning, DJ. Two questions for you. He played fewer than 10 minutes last night, but a lot of people really noticed Clark Bishop playing. Just wondering what your assessment was of his game last night.
Thought he was really good. Thought he knows his role. Fourth line center that can win some face-offs, take care of the puck. He got an unfortunate penalty there. He probably would have been, right around that 10-minute mark. But he's a guy that can skate. He can compete. I had him at Ivan Hlinka years ago, and he was a really competitive guy, then. And I hadn't heard from or seen from him since. But he came in, and we traded for him, and he's a useful guy, and he's a guy that is trying to carve his path, to stay in the league. You see it a lot with these teams, guys that move around teams, and all of a sudden they cling on to a team and a role, and maybe Clark can be that guy for us.
And my other question would be, he was a healthy scratch in 10 straight. How would you assess Christian Wolanin's 2 games back in the lineup?
Very good. I think he's getting more defensive stops. I mean, he moves the puck great in transition. I thought he broke it out well last night. He still has to continue to do that. There was a few spots, but I see him working on that, and that's what he worked on in practice is trying to stop the cycle, and be able to break the puck out quickly for us. And he continues to get better. And like I said, it's not perfect. None of them are, but I thought he had a very good game.
Kyle Bukauskas, Sportsnet.
Hey, DJ, I'm wondering for someone like Tim Stützle in the power play there last night, obviously he had the one move that had everybody talking. And just in that situation there, how have you seen him grow in terms of his comfort and maybe the ability to control the ice a little bit in those situations?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we want him to be the most comfortable to start the year. And the most comfortable for him is on his strong side. That's where he's played, coming downhill, with the intention at some point that him and Drake would flip and go to their strong sides. But we wanted to make sure he was comfortable, and put him in some spots to succeed. And he did some great things. But ultimately, they're more dangerous. We know that when they're off sides, and he looks comfortable there now. He's making plays, and he's going to be a good power play player for a long time. And last night, that was an exceptional play.
For the final one this morning, we'll circle back to Bruce Garriock.
DJ, I just want to follow up on that because when you look at that Stützle pass that he made to Batherson, but also the one in the was it the Calgary game Friday night to Tkachuk, or Edmonton game Friday night to Tkachuk? What does that say about his skill?
Well, his skill's unbelievable, but I think sometimes the league can beat you up, especially in your first year. If things don't go right, you can freeze up and not make those plays. And I think that's part of it here this year is, guys have turned it over, guys have cost goals, and we've got to live through it. I mean, they've got to be aware that they can't do it all the time, but that's part of it. And I think we said that at the start of the year. There's going to be times where guys are going to make plays and they're going to look like maybe they don't belong, but we've got to live with it and continue to get better. And I think Timmy is now understanding the NHL game more and more. He's a really bright kid. He's going to be a good kid, a good player for a long time. And when he's confident in skating like that, he's a dangerous player.